Who won, Koffee or Young Wavy? As an indie manga guy myself, looking at where to take my next manga project, I care a lot about these two creatives and how they run their businesses. Their breakup and beef bothers me a little bit because I don't want to get into self-publishing. I would much rather take it to a publisher. One of these indie manga publishers would be awesome. Both Koffee and Wavy are doing two very different business models that I've considered before, and I'm not sure which one's going to end up being the best here. So I'm watching closely. After seeing the drama play out, I have some thoughts and concerns. So, if you don't know already, they were a team publishing together. Kind of. It was a uneven partnership. Young Wavy had the magazine. Koffee was going to throw all of his stuff in there too, and it's hard to describe how they had this partnership. I don't entirely understand it, but they've done several hour-long videos going back and forth, nitpicking each other's videos and complaints, yada yada. But here's some of my thoughts. They were a team publishing together in a partnership. Now they are split over politics and ideology. They have gone back and forth over several videos, doing detailed breakdowns of each other's videos in a tedious way. If you don't understand it or care to watch their hours of drama, I got you. So Koffee doesn't like Young Wavy because he's given up space in his manga magazine to stories that don't match his definition of mana A. It's like manga something, I don't know, but it's a term he created to describe shonen manga and removes a lot of woke ideology. There's very specific descriptors. Go check out one of his videos on it to find out the specifics. But in short, Young Wavy doesn't care what their politics are, and he is still using the term in his descriptions for his manga and his other projects. And Koffee's like, keep my name out of your damn mouth. So, yeah, and then they're in a big fight over business models and what's working best. Koffee has really been going at Young Wavy, calling his magazine a dungeon and all this other stuff. So Young Wavy prefers a global market. He's trying to appeal to a larger audience, and he's very slowly growing. And Koffee's pointed this out. There's no money to be made. It's like $3 going out to each, creative in the magazine. Each artist is getting like $3 or $4, like a year or something. I don't know. It was something insane. So yeah, Young Wavy wants to appeal to a global market, large reader base. He understands it's going to take a while to build up, yada yada. Koffee is advertising to a very specific market and making money quickly. As he's pointed out, he's not making a whole lot either, but it's more than $3. He wants to price products higher. If it means making money, Young Wavy will take poverty until it builds up. Yeah, Young Wavy insists that we have to remain competitive with all these other magazines, and Koffee's like, no, we don't. He will literally price his manga at like $25. That's what he said in one of his more recent videos. And Young Wavy wants to sell on Amazon KDP, and Koffee's going to sell, it sounds like, through Kickstarter? Not Kickstarter, but like his own online crowdfunding. So, who won all of this? I'm going to keep it short and to the point. I think Young Wavy did. And I'm not too excited about, the results of this either way. But Koffee went off the rails, calling him retarded, young weenie, just constant childish insults. He just immediately downgraded to a third grader. He's all about that money. For someone who has such a clear vision for shonen manga protagonists and heroes and their behavior and how they act. He talks about it all the time in his videos, but he doesn't seem to have the capability to reflect on his own actions here. He did not act like Ichigo. He didn't act like Naruto or Goku, any of the strongest and best shonen manga protagonists. When they've ever lost a friend or an ally, I don't remember them ever becoming childish like this. It was really kind of insane. But Young Wavy didn't really become super childish. I don't know. They both broke down each other's arguments. Young Wavy didn't. He wasn't childish like that. So that's kind of one of the biggest points for me. Also, I think Amazon is a good place to sell because everyone is on there. But everyone is on Amazon. And Amazon takes 40% of all the sales, but it's worth it when they do the printing and the shipping and logistics, and you don't have to buy a website and take care of all the credit card, sales rates and all that kind of taxes and stuff. It is worth it for creatives to sell on Amazon and focus on the product and the creative side and the marketing. There's so much to do when you're your own business owner. I'm sure Koffee understands that now. But why he wants to do it all himself is wild, because it's going to cost him. And he's going to understand this over time, the amount of time that it takes just to make manga. It's going to double or triple when he has to take care of the printing and logistics and shipping and the website. I also think they both lost a little in this. If we can learn anything from Comicscape movement, it's that if you nail down on a political agenda and rely on people buying your product and following you because of your politics and ideology, you'll have a very loyal but small audience. But only for 2 or 3 initial members of CG do they make money, and the product isn't on par with the best being put out. I remember in 2017, the biggest members of CG were very different than they are today. There was like Doug TeNapel, Mike S. Miller, and then EVS and John Malin. Might have been like 1 or 2 other guys, I don't quite remember. But 2 of the guys that I just listed are no longer a part of it. Mike S. Miller and Doug TeNapel, I don't think you can even find them on YouTube now. I think they've moved to like Rumble and other places. But they're no longer a part of it. And there was a dramatic falling out, which I didn't even pay attention to. But as soon as all these guys started crying and bitching at each other like little bitches, I immediately stopped paying attention. I checked out. Like every now and then I go back to see what EVS and John Malin are up to, and now there's Shane Davis as a part of it, which is cool. I don't know if Dale Keown is really a part of it. It was so strange how little he is in there. I mean, apparently he got drunk and just fell asleep on stream. There's some like pick me girls on there. Like I don't get it. And not all, and they always try to sell more and more. Like there's there's dozens of people in this movement, but only like the top 2 or 3 actually make a living at it. So it's not a sustainable thing. And the people who are part of this movement are really like, I don't want to say like extremists, they're like acolytes or something. They're really committed to the 2 or 3 guys like Shane Davis, EVS, and John Malin. I think they're the only 3 that really make money from Comicsgate and can make a living. All the other ones are trying real hard. I think there's one, Mandy, I think her name is. She makes a decent amount of money. I think she has a good following, but it's nothing like the other guys. And then everyone else under that is just in the slums. They're not making nearly enough. Their crowdfunding might make the minimum that they need. But my point that I would like to make to both Young Wavy and Koffee is this: if they see this video at all, the indie manga market is small enough. You don't need to make your target audience smaller by using politics and ideology. It is easy to grow quickly by using rage inciting and divisive content because there's very little middle ground with this stuff. People will either like your video or hate your video. A neutral indifference doesn't happen. You will grow quick, you'll also cap out quick, and then dwindle when you start tearing down each other and other indie creators, which you will have to do constantly because that's the kind of content that you're going to start creating, and that's what you're going to see start bringing in the likes and the views. When you deviate from that, you're going to see a drop in views and engagement. So, yeah, that's my advice. Try to appeal to the general audience the best way you can. It's going to be slower growth, but the insightful stuff is really going to cut down your target audience. You'll find your target audience quick, but it's going to cap. It's not a never-ending growth with that. To find the people that agree with you politically and are interested in indie manga and the indie manga that you create, like, it's very niche. It's very small. It's going to cap out real quick. And to find the ones that agree with you politically and are into manga and into indie manga that you create and have money to purchase your high value product, that's going to be so tiny that you might want to consider taking the longer look at this. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got for you guys. So in case you're wondering what I'm drawing in the background here, I am studying a page from Tite Kubo's Burn the Witch, Volume 1. I don't know if there was a second volume after that, but it's page 90 if you want to look it up yourself. But I'm just here practicing with screen tones and paneling, story pacing, and all that stuff. So I'm studying from the greats and some of my favorites. Tite Kubo is definitely one of them. Haruhisa Nakata is another great one. Taku Kuwabara does great stuff. He did Something Dragons. He has his own YouTube channel that you should absolutely check out. He's an amazing artist. So, but yeah, I'm studying, working entirely digitally. Not my usual method. I prefer drawing traditionally. There's just like a slight disconnect between me and the tablet that I'm trying to work on and figure out. When I do draw manga, I always do it traditionally, and then I'll add screen tones digitally. And you can check out my other manga and webtoons in the description below. I'll post the link to my Manga Creator Plus page, and you can see them all there. So if you want to consider supporting me, just hit subscribe, like, and comment, that usual stuff. I'm only here. I'm not on Instagram or anything else. They all want to support AI, and I'm not down with that. So I am just here. So thank you all again, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
back in the city where the lights stay wild. Bass hit heavy, got a club on trial. Shorty too bad, got a dangerous smile. On the headline, maybe not just a stop. Pull up clean, no stress on me. Wrist on cold, neck like C. Boys talk tough, but they fold on beat. I don't play fair, just play elite. Late night text like, where you at? Told her on the way, I move like that. No brakes, no cap, I'm built to last. She want one more round, I told her bet fast. Don't sleep till sunrise, ride with me. Lights down low, move silently. Girl, you got that fire, breathe. So don't let go, just vibe with me. Hands on me like gravity. Let's get lost in ecstasy. Hands on me like gravity. Yeah, let's get lost in ecstasy. Champagne spill on a ball main tee. She a 10 in the face, got the soul I need. Talk sweet, but she don't play cheat. She a queen, but she move like street. We just vibing rooftop nights. Oh, lit when we take flight. Say she love that thrill, that fight. Thought I'm the storm, not the light. Hopped out looking like a young icon. Gold frames on with the diamonds on. Never need love when I'm dialed in. Shorty said you grow, getting wild. No season sunrise, ride with me. Lights down low, move silent. Girl, you got that fire, breathe. So don't let go, just vibe with me. Hands on me like gravity. Let's get lost in ecstasy. Hands on me like gravity. Let's get lost in ecstasy. Let's get lost in ecstasy. Let's get lost in ecstasy. You the type to get me caught up in a flame. No rules now, we just play the game. In the fast lane, switching through the rain. Heart be loud, calling out your name. You the crime to give me